Hey guys, Magnus Robert here, bringing you a bit of a different video today. Today I've decided to do kind of a special topic of it. I don't think I've ever done anything like this before. So it came from an idea from a friend actually, but basically we're going to be doing top 5 reasons to keep playing Tapped Out, and then I'm also going to do top 5 reasons to stop playing Tapped Out, and then I'm also going to do a top 10 reasons to keep playing Futurama Worlds of Tomorrow, and then I'm going to do, the top 10 reasons to stop playing Futurama Worlds of Tomorrow. And in that video, I'm actually generally going to say, at the end of the video, I'm stopping playing Futurama Worlds of Tomorrow. Because I think after this Halloween event and Futurama Worlds of Tomorrow, I'll do a few videos addressing it. But basically, I am bored of that game so much. Like, it's really tedious to me. So, I mean, I think I'm going to quit that game, unfortunately. So, yeah. Anyway, basically... So I've got 5 reasons. We'll go through them. Some of them are a bit cheesy but whatever. But the first reason, I guess the top reason that you guys should keep playing Tapped Out is, of course, there is regular updates. And I think this is a big thing because if I think Tapped Out in like 2014, 2015, like that kind of time period, it really didn't have very many updates. There'd be like a whole month where they wouldn't have an update, and so it was very annoying to players. But nowadays, literally, as soon as one update ends, another one begins, so you can keep going, and that's what's really good about Tapped Out now. Now, this is what I was very worried about when they got rid of the levels, that we wouldn't have very much content, because the levels always seem to fill up the space from big updates. So there'd be a big update, and then they'd introduce a level, maybe 2 levels between, and then they'd have another big update. And so that was something I was very worried about when they got rid of the levels, but they've really fixed that, and they keep doing regular updates, which are really interesting. They've, some of them are amazing. Some of them, of course, mini updates, episode tie-ins, and of course you have the big updates. Some of the mini updates and the big updates can sometimes be pretty crappy, and I do think that a lot of them have been pretty crappy in the past, but the fact that they have got regular updates is still a point to keep playing, in my opinion. Still a really valid reason to keep going. And then number 2 sort of ties into this one. It's kind of cheating a little bit, but it ties into the regular updates. And that's it's adding interesting characters. So I think this is true as well. I think even though we're this far down down the line, and we still have we've had over 200 odd characters been added to the game, and most of the most important characters have already been added, and there's only a few B-list characters. Well, there's 2 B-list characters who haven't been added yet, and of course that's Troy McClure and Lionel Hutz. I would say they were B-level characters, just about, at least in the 90s episodes anyway. Yeah. But apart from that, we've literally got no more B and A-list characters. To be honest, we're sort of running out of C-list characters as well. D-list characters is even going low. Like, look at the brand new update, for example. But the brand new update, although it didn't give us loads of interesting characters, it gave us Count Dracula, which I'm hoping will actually be really interesting. I'm hoping they kind of put a nice spin on him. They added us the Evil Shopkeeper. We're going to be getting that soon, which is another really, really cool character they've given us. And, I know they've sort of given us a bunch of sort of characters that really should be costumes, but it's still, giving us loads and loads of characters, and more tasks, and more ways to earn money, and more things to interact with, and more people running around town. And to be honest, I think the biggest thing I'm most excited for in an update is always characters. So that's why if an update doesn't have very good characters, for me it's just instantly bad. This one I think was pretty good, like in terms of characters, like the Halloween one. But for example, and this is an example I'll keep bringing up, and of course I'm talking about the Destination Springfield. That added some really, really classic ones, like the 2 French guys. Like, they were really cool, and they had voice and everything. They were really awesome. Yeah, but it's adding loads of interesting characters, and I think that is a really good reason to keep playing. And then number three is methods for donuts have gotten easier, and I think this is a very good point. The fact that donuts are a lot easier to get now than they were like 3-4 years ago. Like, now it's so easy to get them, keep getting them, and keep generating them. Of course, the daily prizes you've got, you've got a few you got the mini game, the Maggie mini game. You've got, if you level up, you can get more donuts. You can sometimes pick them up when you're getting rid of debris. But the main reason, the big one is the daily challenges. That's the biggie that where you can get bonus donuts from. And I just think that the fact that they did that was so was so kind of good, because if you take another game like Family Guy Quest for Stuff or Futurama Wars of Tomorrow, which are both very similar to Tapped Out, they don't do that. You can watch an ad to you basically watch an ad to do it, so you're giving them revenue anyway. But Tapped Out, they let you earn premium currency for free. They're not getting any money out of that, because the game is purposely run on microtransactions. It's not run on ads. So yeah, I think this is a really good reason to keep playing, because at the end of the day, if there's something you want, you can easily get it by saving up. If there's something you really want, granted you won't be able to get everything out of a big update, and I understand that, and I think in some cases it's fair enough that premium players only get some stuff if they're willing to pay. And I do think the prices are still expensive, and I think that will be one of my reasons in top 5 reasons to stop playing, because I do think that is a big problem still, that some of the donut prices are way too expensive, and also the buying donuts. If you want to buy donuts, it's way too pricey. They need to bring the prices right down. Like, I would expect 1,000 donuts for maybe £10, £15, or $15. I would expect like 1,000 donuts for that much, but instead that costs 1,000 donuts costs you about $100 or £100. So yeah. My 4th reason is another thing that was worse in the past, and that's enough land is getting added now. Now I think we're at the stage where we're getting a little bit too much land, almost, because now it's like I always have free land, and it's so easy for me, and I can make big cool designs, and that's probably, I shouldn't complain that there's not enough, that there's too much land, because that would be a picky, but I think enough land has now been added to Tapped Out for you to make a decent, sizable design for every building you have. Now this was a massive issue 2-3 years ago, and a reason that I'm probably going to stop playing Futurama Worlds of Tomorrow. One of the big reasons I'm really not enjoying Futurama Worlds of Tomorrow is I keep having to I've got no roads in my New York now, because I physically needed to get rid of all my roads to build my buildings, and I can't get enough hypno things to clear more land. So it's really just become a really tedious and annoying thing. I just can't be bothered with that game anymore. I've just given up altogether, really, and it's sad, really, because it had a really big potential. I just wish they laid it out like Tapped Out, and not laid it out like Family Guy Quest for Stuff, because I thought that was always going to be a factor that really put me off the game, and it really did. And I think it's probably the thing that's ended me playing it. The big issue is the land. But going back to Tapped Out, of course, land is really important, because the whole point of the game is you're rebuilding Springfield. That's the main aim of the game. It's not to you can get all the prizes, like that is still an aim, but the main aim is to build your town. So if you don't have enough land for all your things, and granted some of the land is pretty pricey, but of course with the new free tokens and stuff that they add as prizes, they're really handy, so you can get more land, and I think that they are a really good addition to the game. The free land token that they added in as a prize, yeah, I just think the fact that they've given us loads of land, it's given a lot more freedom to players just to build and because that's what it is. It's a creative game. That's where you try and be creative. It's essentially a bit like Minecraft in a way. Like, you wouldn't play Minecraft if you were restricted to a 4x5 block or something, so you had to build a house in a tiny. You want freedom. You want an open world, essentially, so you can build as much as you want. And essentially, the land that they've given us in the last 2 years, the amount of land they've given us is really opened up that freedom and allowed us to actually build. And another thing, a mini point from this is they've also they've been a lot more lenient with buildings you can put on the Squidport and the promenade, the Heights Promenade. They've been very lenient with the buildings you can put. Now you can put loads of different buildings on there, and you can also take some buildings that really belong on the Squidport and put them in Springfield. So they've been a lot more lenient with the freedom that if you want to put something on the like the lesbian club, for example, I'm pretty sure I put on was it the lesbian club? No, it wasn't. It was the Village Walk apartments that we got in the LGBT. I put that on the promenade in the Heights, because I think it just sort of suited it. Like, it was that kind of building that would be on a promenade. So it's given us a lot more freedom and stuff. So yeah, that's my 4th point. And then my final point is a bit of a cheesy one, and that's it's got a great community, and I really do think it does. I do think Tapped Out has a brilliant community, and I think you know, it's not just the YouTubers, it's not just the people who subscribe and all that. It's also just the players in general. Like if you go on forums, for example, like Tapped Out UK, which is what the Happy Tapper or Sam or whatever you want to call him, the what he is involved with, that page, like that, it's set up just like a Facebook thing, and it's really cool. Like I've gone on there a few times. I don't really have the time to go on it every day or even every week, but it is a really nice site. And yeah, I really think the community as a whole is really cool. Like, for example, just the YouTubers. Just take the YouTubers. Like when we did the Christmas thing, like Nuke. Like the thing with Nuke is I was never really thought that Nuclear Videos HD would really ever do a video with me or Ted, because he's got a lot more subscribers than us, and I know that he doesn't have loads. He doesn't have like millions, but you know, he still has essentially. Like, we don't even have half what he has. We don't even have a quarter of what he has. We have, like, you know, I only have 1,000. He has, like, 25,000, I'm pretty sure, or something like that. Or 22,000. But, yeah. So, but the fact that he does videos with us is, you know, I guess there isn't really anyone else to do it with. Maybe that's the reason. But, yeah, I just think the community is really good, and I really enjoy everyone who's, you know, in the comments and stuff. So, I think overall, yeah. Just a great community. So my fifth point was a bit weak, but hey ho. So anyway, guys, that is my video on the 5 reasons you should keep playing Tapped Out. If you want to tell me your reasons why you want to keep playing Tapped Out, please do tell me. If mine were too cheesy or mine were too cliche, then please do to say. And so yeah, stay tuned. Maybe next week I think I'll do the video for top 5 reasons to stop playing Tapped Out. It's not like it's not like I'm stopping playing it, but I just think it'd be an interesting video for us to do and talk about the kind of negative side of the game. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Goodbye.